in the morning, 2 hours before sunrise. This arti is sung here, and many devotees, all the devotees are taking part in it. And because even I at times do not have the privilege of attending that arti, I want to read to you now the English translation of this Sanskrit verses. There are 8 verses. The first verse says, the Spirit, listen to the glories, the benediction, the qualities of these of the spiritual master and the instructions that he's given to us. The spiritual master is receiving benediction from the ocean of mercy. Only first line. Where is the ocean of mercy? Where is this ocean of mercy? What is talking about? Ocean of mercy. Spiritual world. Where mercy is infinite, that mercy is coming down to us here. Just by singing and saying and participating in these prayers, you are receiving these mercy. Just as a cloud pours water on a forest fire to extinguish it, so the spiritual master delivers the materially afflicted world. Which is the materially afflicted world, and how is it afflicted? We are in this materially afflicted world. This is a lower planet. This is not a spiritual planet. We are to train ourselves and practice calling the holy name so that we can come out of this Maya kingdom. Lust, anger, greed, pride, ego is pulling us, drawing us, and pinning us into this activities of material nature. So we are to move from that, and Srila Prabhupada came given the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. This is the source. This is the energy. Say it from your heart. Say it with love and devotion. And you will be surprised of your realization. He himself is going to be present, and you can see him face to face when the time comes. Mahaprabhu Kirtana Nitya Gita Vanditharmadyan Manasona Rasena, chanting the holy name, dancing in ecstasy, singing, playing musical instruments. The spiritual master is always gladdened by the movement of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is Krishna himself. Because he is relishing the mellows of pure devotion within the mind, sometimes his hair stands on end. Listen to this. Listen attentively. What is the benediction? How would you know? What would you feel? What is happening? It says, because he is relishing the mellows of pure devotion within his mind, sometimes his hair stands on end. He feels quivering of the body begin to shake. Tears flow from his eyes like waves. You can't stop it. Sometimes the tears in itself keeps spurting. Like if you're sneezing. If you're sneezing, that's how the tears will come. Your experience varies. It depends on the individual and how much you are giving him. He knows. And he will reply adequately. So, tears are flowing from his eyes like waves. Vande Guru Sri Charanana Vidam. The reason I sang that so many times, I could only sing. I feel myself can only sing that 4 or 5 words and be happy and satisfied. I offer my respectful obeisances unto who? Unto the lotus feet of that spiritual master, of your spiritual master. In this case, our Jagat Guru is Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki. So the spiritual master, that's the 3rd verse. The spiritual master is always engaged in the temple worship of Radha and Krishna. He also engages his disciples in such worship. When Srila Prabhupada came to the West, all of you know, I think, and if you didn't know, he has gone through a lot of difficulties to bring and establish this holy name here. And the people, the citizens of America, England, Australia, the whole of Europe, who has participated then and now become very ardent and very strong devotees, some of them are gurus, still today carrying out without fail the instructions of Srila Prabhupada. They went back to the West and they're making disciples out of Bharatians. And the way the world is turning at this present time, this is from my point of view, I have no authority, neither do I have any knowledge, and I don't want to speak as though I am authoritative in anything. If you don't want me to say anything, I would not say anything. But from my feeling, as a resident here for over 50 years in this country, I am seeing changes, I'm feeling changes, I am envisioning changes, and these changes, as much as we want to fight them with the power of the holy name within you to protect you, you still can feel the vibration of the atmosphere. You can see in the world around how even world leaders are not fit for leading their country. The instructions that they're given and the way things are going at the present time is not looking very good. So hold on to something that is good, and something that is lasting, and something that will benedict you for life after life after life, which is the holy name. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Lord, O Lord, please engage me, and please engage everyone that is sitting here and those who are not sitting here, who just hearing the glories of the holy name. Engage them in chanting. Help them, O Lord. Don't let them fall into this guire and maguire of disastrous life in this lower planets. The 4th verse says, by the mercy of the spiritual master, by the mercy, underline the word mercy, of the spiritual master, one receives benediction of Krishna. Without the grace of the spiritual master, one cannot make any advancement. So when people has problems and their own description of the spiritual undertaking that they have and the experiences they have, somehow tell them to take shelter. They should know from the very beginning, In fact, Srila Prabhupada has told you in his books, there's 5 books that every one of you here should read, which will help you to form a solid foundation onto God consciousness. Not onto, but into God consciousness. Bhagavad Gita, Ishopanishad, Science of Self-Realization, Nectar of Instruction, Nectar of Devotion. That doesn't exclude all the other books because he has tons of books. Read all books printed by Srila Prabhupada as you can. But these 5 books is going to give you the basics, and get a little songbook. In this book they have all the mantras that devotees use for different situations. And it's imperative, not important, but it's a must, is mandatory that you read and learn these mantras and apply them every day in your lives. Haribol. Number 5, the spiritual master is always engaged to hear and chant about the unlimited conjugal pastimes of Radhika and Madhava, Radha and Krishna. He hears about their qualities, their names and forms, and the spiritual master aspires to relish these at every moment. He wants to hear from you. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the lotus feet of the spiritual master. The spiritual master, number 6, is very dear because he is expert in assisting the gopis, who is at different times make different tasteful arrangements for the perfection of Radha and Krishna and conjugal loving affairs within the groves of Vrindavan. For many of you who came here in festive times and so on, would see Janmashtami, for example, you would see that we have mountains of prasad and sweets of all different description made by the hundreds, offering to the Lord and given to his disciples, given to the devotees, and given to everybody Bhagavad Prasad. So, and the devotees are very imaginative. And I think what Krishna want, he gives them the knowledge to make and distribute. And that is still going on today. The spiritual master is to be honored as much as the Supreme Lord. Yes, baby, that's true. He is to be honored. Honored and as much as the Supreme Lord. Why? Because he is the most confidential servitor of the Lord. This is acknowledged in all revealed scriptures and followed by all authorities. Therefore, I offer my respectful obeisances unto the lotus feet of such a spiritual master. The last verse says, Yasya prasadha bhagavat prasadho, Yasya prasadham nagati kutopi. By the mercy of the spiritual master, one received the benediction of Krishna. Only by your mercy. What does he want from you? What does Krishna want from you? Simple. Krishna wants your love. Oh, class speaker is here. Thank you so much, Mataji. My name is Vivishwan Das. I came in and saw the temple was quiet and no one was here, and I took it upon myself to do something to enhance my own devotion, but also to encourage you all. I hope I have done that. And when you go home, don't forget you have whatever you have done in the past have done. Today is a new day in each of your lives. For those who is not chanting the Hare Krishna mantra on a daily basis, do it now on a daily basis. For those who have not chanted anything at all, start today. And don't start with 1 or 2 rounds. I mean, if you can't, and that's what you can do, you can do. Do what you can. But now that you're here, I want to push you as fast as I can. And so is Srila Prabhupada and all the acharyas. Everyone who has a spiritual affiliation with the Supreme Lord will want the best for you spiritually. And to get that best means you have to make an input. The input is chant 16 rounds a day. 16 rounds is not enough. I spend 6 or 7 hours a day chanting. But that is not enough for me. For you might be different. Some of you are born in Bharat. Some of you are able to speak our varied language and from the varied cultures and making great contributions in your life. Make a great contribution to yourself. Chant the holy name. Chant the holy name. Chant the holy name. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. May Srila Prabhupada kindly shower his kind mercy upon each and every one of you. Take from here something that you didn't expect to have. Have it today. Go back to the spiritual world. Haribol.
Your name, Vishwan?
Vivishwan. Vivishwan, yes.
Right, thank you very much.
To be honest with you, I intended to chant here for 2 hours, just going for the holy name. I was so enthused today, so thank you.
Will you stay and maybe you help, because we are going to read from Bhagavad Gita.
I have to leave.
Okay. Hare Krishna. Huh? Okay. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Grivaradari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Grivaradari Ashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Shodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Natira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Hare Jaya Radha Gokula Nanda Radha Gokula Nanda Radhe Radha Gokula Nanda Radha Gokula Nanda Radhe Jaya Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman Jaya Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman Jaya Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman Jaya Goranitai Jaya Goranitai Jaya Goranitai Jaya Goranitai Goranitai Jaya Goranitai Jaya Goranitai Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada Nityai Gora Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nityai Gora Hari Bol Nityai Gora Hari Bol Gaur Pramanande Hari Hari Bol All glories Prabhupada All glories Prabhupada All glories Gauranga Jai Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you very much for coming. Very welcome back. So good to see you. Well, as Vivashwan Prabhu mentioned, Srila Prabhupada, our spiritual master, has given us so many books to read from and know Krishna. Well, first know ourselves, know Krishna, and know how we can connect to Krishna, and how we can go back to the spiritual world. And one of the books that Srila Prabhupada has given us is Bhagavad Gita. Well, Bhagavad Gita, originally, of course, is spoken by Krishna, but Srila Prabhupada has translated and written purports to help us to understand Bhagavad Gita. And every day, every evening, this book is read here. Every day one verse is read and discussed. So you're always welcome to come here. In the morning, Srimad Bhagavatam there's a Srimad Bhagavatam class, and then in the evening is Bhagavad Gita class. Do you all know about Bhagavad Gita? Yes? No?
Yes, but not whole things.
Not whole things. Okay. Okay, maybe you can start. Do you know what's the meaning of Bhagavad Gita? Who knows? Who knows? From the mouth of the Lord. Yes, he has spoken it. That's why it's called Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad is the Lord, yeah, and Gita means song. Song, the song of Bhagavad, song of the Lord. Yes, he has spoken this Bhagavad Gita. You know where he has spoken it? In the Mahabharata, Kurukshetra, in the Mahabharata, yes. And in fact, Vivashvan Prabhu is here. It was, Krishna says actually in Bhagavad Gita that it was first spoken by Krishna to Vivasvan, the sun god. And then it was lost, and then now Krishna speaks it to Arjuna. Okay. Today's verse is from chapter 10, verse 36. So I just read the verse and translation. There's a short purport. I read the purport as well. And we try to understand. We have half an hour until 7 o'clock RT. We just try to understand as much as we can. Yes? You come here often? Or is
Just a few times.
few times you've been here?
So far, no transportation.
Okay. How did you get here?
By cab.
By cab. All of you together? Right. You as well? Okay. Is it first time? You come here often. Okay. Okay, let's just read the verse. At least we've done what we're supposed to do here, and then we see what we can understand. It's chapter 10, verse 36. Dyutam chalayatam asmi tejasvinam aham Jayosmi Vyavasayosmi Sattvam Sattvavatam Aham Dyutam Chalayatam Asmi Tejasvinam Aham Jayosmi Vyavasayosmi Sattvam Sattvavatam Aham. Mataji, you please read, and then we all repeat. Yes? Dyutam chalayatam asmi. You all repeat after Mataji. Tejasvinam aham. Jayosmi Vyavaso Yosmi Sattvam Sattvavatam Aham. Thank you very much. Beautiful. Is there anybody else wants to read? You haven't got the book. Have you got, Sarah? No? Would you like to read? Just a second. Go on. Dyutam chalayatam asmi Tejasvinam aham Jayosmi Vyavasayosmi Sattvam Savatam aham. Radha Gokulananda ki jaya, Sitaram Lakshman Hanumani ki jaya, Nitai Gaurantai ki jaya. Thank you very much. Okay, I read word by word translation. Dyutam, gambling. Chalayatam, of all cheats. Asmi, I am. Teja, the splendor. Tejasvinam, of everything splendid. Aham, I am. Jayaha, victory. Asmi, I am. Vyavasaya, enterprise or adventure. Asmi, I am. Sattvam, the strength. Sattvavatam, of the strong. Aham, I am. Thank you. I am also the gambling of cheats and of the splendid. I am the splendor. I am victory. I am adventure. And I am strength of the strong. Please repeat. I am also the gambling of cheats and of the splendid. I am the splendor. I am victory. I am adventure, and I am the strength of the strong. Thank you. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. There are many kinds of cheaters all over the universe. Of all cheating processes, gambling stands supreme and therefore represents Krishna. As the supreme, Krishna can be more deceitful than any mere man. If Krishna chooses to deceive a person, no one can surpass him in his deceit. His greatness is not simply one-sided, it is all-sided. Among the victorious, he is victory, he is the splendor of the splendid. Among the enterprising and industrious, he is the most enterprising, the most industrious. Among adventurers, he is the most adventurous. And among the strong, he is the strongest. When Krishna was present on earth, no one could surpass him in strength. Even in his childhood, he lifted Govardhan Hill. No one can surpass him in cheating. No one can surpass him in splendor. No one can surpass him in victory. And no one can surpass him in enterprise. And no one can surpass him in strength. We just do a short prayer, so then we start, discussing. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Gnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasme Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Svapadantikam. Thank you for coming. Deham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha. Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostete Tapta Kanchana Gourangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Titanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Teyutam Chalayatam Asmi Tejasvinam aham jayosmi vyavasayosmi sattvam sattvavatam aham. I am also the gambling of cheats, and I am the splendid And of the splendid, I am the splendor, I am victory, I am adventure, and I am strength of the strong. This chapter 10 is called the opulence of the absolute. In the contents, we get a brief description of the whole chapter. It says, all wondrous phenomena showing power, beauty, grandeur, or sublimity, either in the material world or in the spiritual, are but partial manifestations of Krishna's divine energies and opulence. As the supreme cause of all causes and the support and essence of everything, Krishna is the supreme object of worship for all beings. So the chapter starts by Krishna, telling Arjuna that how he is the supreme, or why he is the supreme. Because everything, he starts by saying that he is the cause of everything, all the creation, whether spiritual, material, everything coming from him. But then he goes on. So in this way, we actually, you've heard about the 6 opulences of the Supreme, of God. Have you heard about that? Yes? Okay, I'm going to ask those who do know it. Actually, they're very good. You haven't heard. Okay, we'll go through it. That's actually the meaning of Bhagavan. We hear the word Bhagavan, yes? We know it as God. But what does it mean to be God? Why we say, oh, Krishna is God and somebody else is not God? How do we understand? Because he is Bhagavan. He is the one who has all the opulences. If God is God, it's got to be great. It's got to have everything, yeah? And he's got to have everything in full. And without these opulences, he wouldn't be able to be, the supreme, the creator and all that. So maybe, Mataji, you can tell us about these 6 opulences of the Lord. His beauty, wealth, renunciation, fame and name, and knowledge. Very good. So so we all like people who are beautiful, who are knowledgeable, who are strong, who are renounced. Yeah, all people are attractive. Yeah, when they have these qualities. But nobody in this world has all these, all these 6 opulences, and nobody has them all in full. Yeah? But Krishna, being Bhagavan, he has these opulences in full. But then this chapter, again titled The Opulence of the Absolute, it goes into a little bit of more details. What does it mean? Beauty, knowledge, renunciation, fame, strength. And he goes into some details. He says, about 20 verses of this chapter, he explains that how we can find these opulences, at least in the material world. Okay, in the spiritual world, okay, we haven't been there, we have no access. But while in the material world, we can find Krishna through these opulences in the material world. And he, verse by verse, he goes through different things to show us, talks about. And then he also tells Arjuna that these are only a fraction of my opulences. But still, to help us to understand him. For example, I've forgotten. Do you remember? He talks about the sun and the moon. He talks about different hymns. He talks about different demigods. He talks about the Vedas. All the things that we think of great. He is the greatest among those things. So he goes through all these one by one in order to help us to see him in all the great things in this world. We try to recognize Krishna. And then it comes to today's verse. Today's verse, it kind of goes through them. Some of the things was said before. For example, he says that I am the splendid. Of all the splendid, I am the splendor. Right. What does that mean? Of all the splendid, I am the splendor. In some way, he's covering all the great things that he had named before. He's covering all these great, all these great splendid things. What is a splendid? What is your understanding of splendid?
I think it's when something is like very magnificent. It can be very subtly magnificent or very explosive.
Very good. You're saying that something which is magnificent is so big and great. It could be subtly or could be right in front of our eyes. But something which, is it correct to say something which really impresses us? Yes, something impressive. Someone, making a big, grandeur, building, or does a fantastic ideas and puts them together, makes a big industry, become a big, business person, or somebody, really, really beautiful, whatever is impressive to us, right? He says, I am of all the splendid things, of all the magnificent and impressive things. He says, I am the top, right? I am the most magnificent. I am the most, impressive. And then he goes into some details about, actually, I am adventure. I am the strength of the strong. So he gives us some understanding of what could be splendid. Right? If somebody is very strong, somebody is very powerful, famous, even, in the material sense, we look up to them, we are impressed by them, right? But he says that, I am the top most powerful, the top most adventurous, the topmost ideas comes from me, the topmost activities, all comes from me. And we can all accept and understand if God is God, he's got to be splendid, he's got to be magnificent. And Prabhupada, in the purport, he repeats what Krishna is saying, in slightly different words, just to emphasize. He says that no one can surpass him in any of the, in success, in enterprise, in strength, in splendor. Nobody can surpass Krishna. And how yes? What just said now? What is the purpose? Okay. Why Krishna says, I am the best? Yeah? Okay, that's very interesting. Since there is another point in the verse which is a bit could be controversial. I wanted to talk about it, but since you asked that, what do you think yourself? Why Krishna is kind of boasting about himself, isn't it?
I think he's doing it probably to make people, to lessen people's
Very good. So you're saying that the reason Krishna is saying that to help us to truly understand our own position. That, okay, we are the soul, but we are very small and tiny. Yes, and well, how many millions, of us are on the earth, and we are actually our real position. First is that we are the soul, but we are part and parcel of the Supreme Soul. We are a small soul, and our duty is actually to serve the Supreme Soul. Why this is our duty? That is what makes us happy. Okay, we have to be grateful to the Lord, right, for all the things He has given us and created us and all that. But that also makes us happy to be the servants. So you're saying that Krishna, in order to help us to understand our position as a servant of the Lord, He is showing us how great He is, and so in that way we will see our real position in relation to Him. Is that what you were saying?
Yes.
Yeah.
It could be. Yes, I think that's what. And I also think that I also think that what was written is understands the mind quite well. That you don't want to look at yourself too high. You want to have something to look up to rather than down.
Okay, so for us, in order to understand our position as a servant, we need to know who is the Supreme, and there is somebody greater than us that we can look up to, yeah, is that okay? So it helps us to become humble, yeah. Very good. Yes, exactly. Otherwise, we are so much engrossed in our mind that we see around us. We just want to be in control. We want just to go on with our own plans, and we think all our ideas are fantastic, great. But actually, this very nicely brings us to the first point that Krishna makes in this verse, talking about, he says, I am also the gambling of cheats. Basically, Prabhupada explains in the purport that he is the greatest cheater as well. So even in cheating, he surpasses. But how do we understand that? Because the point that you were making about wanting to be in control, wanting to have our own plans, time and time, in life experience, we can see that how our plans are smashed, isn't it? How we try to control things, whether it's in relationship, whether it's in job or study or things we want to do, the ideas that we have, how much we do realize that maybe there's somebody greater than us who is in control. Yeah? You all experience that? I think we all do. And this is one of the ways to look at what the verse says here, that he's the topmost cheater as well. He actually, there are many stories, because we don't have time, we won't go through, in Krishna book, there are many stories that how Krishna actually did tricks in order, to get his own plan, which his main plan is to establish Dharma, right? But when he sees, and this happened in the Battle of Kurukshetra, you mentioned about Mahabharata. But this life, our life, is also a battle. Yeah? Basically, Krishna spoke Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna, but in a way, he is speaking it to us. In the battle of life, how many times we try to cheat Krishna in order to get our own way, in order to get our own plans. But then Krishna, he smashes our plans. No matter how great, forget about, somebody like me, but, even the big people, politicians, I don't know, those who make, millions, in wealth, those who are so powerful, whether in bodily or whether in position, they're so powerful. Those who are the most beautiful people, they have all these, opulences, but Krishna, by showing his beauty, his strength, his wealth, his knowledge, he kind of, in a way, you could say he's cheating us. We try to cheat him, but he says, I am the biggest cheater. And in fact, to be a good cheater, you need to have a lot of knowledge, don't you? And unless you have all, if I want to cheat you, unless I know everything about you, I won't be a good cheater, right? But Krishna, since he is the most knowledgeable, so he knows what is good for us, ultimately. So if our plan, he thinks that is not good for us.
Even in modern day wars, you see the cheating there.
Huh?
Even in modern day wars.
Modern?
In the modern day wars, when a war happens, they cheat.
People cheat each other at work.
Yes.
Well, exactly. Here Prabhupada says, he starts the purport by saying there are many kinds of cheaters all over the universe.
At the same time, Krishna said that your aim is more important, not the way you reach the aim.
Mm-hmm.
In Gita, Krishna says that
You?
your aim is to win the war.
Mm-hmm.
For that, the ways are not very important. What way you reach there.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you go to cheat. That's what in order to defeat Bhishma and Drona, they have to use some tactics. That's
Right.
why
So you know the way he cheated in the war, the way Krishna cheated.
Yeah.
Tell us one of the things that Krishna did.
Even when Arjuna had the war with Drona,
Uh-huh.
they know that, Krishna know that as long as Dronacharya had the weapon in the hand, there's no way nobody can defeat him. Nobody. So he told Bhishma, him to name an elephant,
Ashvatthama.
and they killed the elephant, and they go and told Dharmaputra to stand near to Drona and tell that Ashwatthama died. So when he heard that, he believed Dharmaputra.
Beautiful.
And he believed him so much that he put his weapon down. And at the same time, Krishna told Arjuna, this is the only time you can finish Drona.
Beautiful. You brought us to...
Then to defeat Bhishma also, he done that.
Yes.
These are Maha Adhiradhans. You can't defeat them.
Yes.
As long as they have weapon, you cannot defeat any of them.
Okay. Since we have only a few minutes to the end of the class, we just close the class by what you said. Maybe some people didn't hear, you are giving a example of Krishna cheating, during the Kurukshetra when he was fighting with Dronacharya. And he...
It's not a cheating. It is like Krishna is advising a tactic where he can uphold the Dharma. To uphold the Dharma,
Perfect.
you have to change your principle.
Tactic.
Yeah, that's why Krishna.
Okay. Well, you try to be kind to Krishna and say, well, this is not really cheating, it's different tactic. But he has no problem saying, he uses in the verse, he says, I am the biggest cheater. If you want, to win with the war, I have the upper hand. And like you said, he did it all in order to preserve Dharma. Yes. Beautifully. Well, everybody knows the story about Dronacharya and Ashvatthama. Yes. Very good, beautiful. Thank you very much. What's your good name?
Regu.
Regu. You read Bhagavad Gita regularly?
No, reading.
And with the family?
Here,
That's what Srila Prabhupada wanted us. He wanted us to read Bhagavad Gita regularly. Regularly, okay, it's best if we do it every day, right? But if for some reason we can't, definitely make it, let's say, well, every other day. If not, once a week. But and regularly and systematically. Starts from the beginning and take this Srila Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita as it is, read the introduction, go through verses, go through Srila Prabhupada's purports, and that's it. And then he says, at the end of Bhagavad Gita, he says to Krishna, I've told you everything, just surrender unto me, right? And what does that mean? It's just to listen to Krishna, and his main message is chant his name, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you very much for coming, and thank you very much for your contribution. Jaya Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki Jaya, Bhagavad Gita ki Jaya. Hare.
You singing?
श्री श्री राधा गोकुल नंद की, सीताराम लक्ष्मण हनुमान की। We'll start the Gora Arti now, and the wordings are on the screen on the top right hand side, and I'll sing and you can follow. Ki bajayo jayo Gora Chandere, Arati ko sobha. Ki bajayo jayo Gora Chandere, Arati ko sobha. Jana vitatavane jagaman lobha. Jana vitatavane jagaman lobha. Dakin netai chan name gadadhara. Dakin netai chan name gadadhara. Nikate advaita shini Vasa Chatradhara Nikate Advaitashini Vasa Chatradhara Bosi Jate Gaurachan Ratna Simbasa